If you're building authority on LinkedIn, you've probably wondered to yourself, how long is this going to take? When will I actually start seeing results? And when will I start attracting premium clients? And if I'm not seeing results yet, should I just keep going, or am I pretty much wasting my time? Now, here's the truth. Building real authority on LinkedIn, naturally, it does take time. It's not necessarily a 30-day sprint, especially if you're going about this alone, you're not having the support of an agency, for example. It can take several months. And most of the time, people quit early because they don't understand the timeline. They just expect results immediately. And when they don't see them, they assume that it's not working. And so then they stop. And they never get to the stage where authority actually compounds into revenue. Now, throughout the course of this video, I'm going to walk you through the LinkedIn authority timeline. So I'll walk you through exactly how long it can take to build real authority and really what to expect at each stage, and also what to focus on, more importantly, to accelerate your process. Now, this has been the exact same process that I've leveraged to be able to get to 55,000 followers on LinkedIn, all completely organically, while also driving over 10 million impressions on the platform and reaching over 1 million LinkedIn members in the last year alone, where you can also see one of our accounts has driven over 72 million impressions over the last year or so, with one of our clients driving over 4,000 followers within the last 30 days. So you can see there is a way to really ramp up and accelerate your time to result. And if that's something of interest to you, check out the link in the comment section below, where I'll walk you through and send you a free breakdown of what it looks like to have these types of results. But let's first of all start with a bit of a reality check that building real authority on LinkedIn can take 12 to 18 months if you're going about it yourself and kind of trying to stumble through and figure things out one day at a time. Not necessarily 30 or 90 days, again, if you're going about it alone. And the main reason is you're trying to figure everything out, right? And so the first main reason is that authority is built through repetition, right? So people need to see your name, read your content, and engage with your ideas multiple times before they can really see you as an authority. And trust can take some time to build up. They don't necessarily trust you after one post. They'll trust you after seeing you show up consistently, delivering value repeatedly, and demonstrating that expertise over time. It's also that the algorithm rewards that consistency as well. So it tends to favor accounts and posts that have been doing it over an extended period and showing that they can really be consistent with high quality content. So as much as 12 to 18 months may sound like a long time, what you don't realize is that you'll actually find you'll see results a lot quicker, especially if you really focus on building deep, sustainable authority, high quality content, and more, especially knowing that most people will quit after 30 days, for example. So if you do commit your mind to the longer term, you'll typically find that you will see results actually much quicker than that. Again, if you look in this particular scenario here, where we talk about this first stage, this is really going to be the foundation stage. So this is where you're building the infrastructure for everything that's really going to come later. So the main things that you want to focus on are optimizing your profile. So your headline, your about section, your featured section. You really want to define your content pillars, so 5 to 7 core topics that you'll be posting about consistently. You'll then want to make sure that you post 3 times per week consistently as well, and engaging 15 minutes per day with ideal clients, other authorities in your space, and your own posts. And then really want to get your initial network to 300 to 500 targeted connections. Now, during this initial phase, it's not unreasonable to expect that you're going to have fairly low engagement on your post, maybe 10 to 30 reactions and 0 to 5 comments, for example. Your follower growth might also be quite slow, right? Anywhere from 10 to 50 people every couple of weeks, and limited inbound leads, maybe anywhere from 0 to 2 per month. And maybe just feelings in your own mind of discouragement, like, is this even working? Now, this is normal because you're building from zero. So the algorithm doesn't even know you yet. You've got a small network. People don't recognize your name. And this can be one of the hardest stages because you're putting in effort without seeing much return. So you really just want to focus your mind on consistency over results, because your only real job at this first stage is just to show up consistently. Do those 3 posts per week, engage 15 minutes a day, and don't worry too much at this initial stage about engagement, especially when you're doing it by yourself. Don't worry too much about the followers, just build the habit. The next real focus is the quality over quantity aspect. Don't necessarily try to post every day, just focus on creating high quality content, real valuable posts that actually demonstrate your expertise. The third focus is really strategic engagement. So you want to engage with your ideal clients and authorities in your space. Leave thoughtful, insightful comments. Just work to get on their radar. And as a milestone, you'll find that by the end of the 3rd month, you should be in a situation, if you stuck to this, where you'd have 30 to 40 posts published, 300 to 500 targeted connections, and a consistent posting and engagement habit. Now, the mindset for this is that really stage one is all about planting seeds. So you're not harvesting yet, you're just planting, and you want to trust in the process. So stay consistent and know that the results will come, right? Now, the next stage is then really months 4 to 6. So this is more the traction stage. And this is where you can start to see early signs that things are really working. Now, what you're doing is you're going to continue to post 3 times per week, continue to engage for 15 minutes a day. But now you want to start to analyze what's working. So which posts are getting the most engagement, and you want to start to double down on what is working. So repeating the best performing topics and formats, and then really starting to initiate DM conversations with warmer leads. Now, what you'll start to see now is more moderate engagement on your post. So anything from 30 to 100 likes, maybe 5 to 15 comments, and much more consistent, steady follower growth to 50 to 150 new followers each month, and early inbound leads, maybe 2 to 5 inbound leads each month. And you start to get a bit of recognition from your network. Maybe people saying to you, hey, I've been seeing your posts. And this is happening because now the algorithm is really starting to recognize you. So your network starts growing and people start to see your name more repeatedly. So you're moving from the who is this person to, oh, I've seen this person before. So really you want to focus on doubling down on what works. So again, look at your analytics, look at which posts got the most engagement and which topics resonated, and then do more of that. The next focus is to start converting that visibility into conversations. So identify the warm leads, the people who engage with your content repeatedly, and then reach out with a DM with a value first message to start conversations. The third focus is to refine those content pillars, because now you would have published 60 to 70 posts, so you know what works. So refine those content pillars to focus on the topics that really resonate the most. Now, by the end of the sixth month, you should have 70 to 80 posts published, 600 to 1,000 connections now, 5 to 10 inbound leads coming in with a bit more consistency, and more importantly, clear data on what content actually works. So this second stage is really about traction. Really, you're starting to now see early signs of momentum. You're finding your engagement is increasing and people are starting to recognize your name, and you're starting to have some sales conversations. And this is where people start to believe it works. Really, this is where the consistency really kicks in. Now, the third stage is between months 7 to 12. This is the momentum stage now. So this is where authority starts to compound and you start to see real business results. Now, what you're doing is continuing to post 3 times a week, or increasing to 4 to 5 if you can sustain that. Continuing to engage 15 minutes a day and repurposing your best content. So the same ideas, but different formats. You're also building deeper relationships with your network and converting those warm leads into clients more consistently. Now, what you'd expect from this is strong engagement on your post. So now 100 to 300 likes and 15 to 30 comments per post. You're really going to start to accelerate your follower growth. So now you might be looking at 150 to 300 new followers every single month. Much more consistency with your inbound leads, so 5 to 15 every single month. And recognition beyond your network, because people that you've never met, they actually now know who you are. And you'll start to find you have your first viral post, so where you get 1,000 plus likes or 50 plus comments as well. Now, this is happening because you've been showing up consistently over an extended period of time, so the algorithm really trusts you. Your network's going to be larger, it's going to be engaged, and people start to recognize your name as an authority in your niche. So you're moving from this is a person I've seen before to actually this person is an expert in this particular topic. So you really want to focus on scaling what's working at this stage, because you know what content works, you know the topics that resonates. Now scale it, post more frequently if you can, and repurpose your best content. The next thing is you want to start to build more strategic relationships. So engage with other authorities in your niche, collaborate, even co-create content and build alliances that will actually amplify your reach. You also want to optimize your conversion process. So you're getting inbound leads. Now optimize how you convert them. So refine your DM framework, improve your discovery call process, and then increase your close rate as well. So by the end of the 12th month, you should now have 150 to 200 posts published, 2,000 to 5,000 connections, and 50 to 100 inbound leads over the course of the recent months, and multiple clients closed from LinkedIn while being a clear authority in your niche. So stage 3 is all about momentum, right? Your authority is compounding, your content is reaching more people, your engagement is strong, and you're converting visibility into revenue more consistently. And this is where LinkedIn becomes a real revenue generating asset, and stay consistent and you'll keep scaling off the back of this. Now, the fourth stage is really months 13 to 18 plus, which is the authority stage. So this is where you build deep, sustainable authority that really fills your calendar on autopilot. Because at this point, you're really posting up to 5 times per week consistently or even more. You're engaging strategically. You'll find you don't need to engage as much because your content's going to be doing a lot more of the work for you now. And you're repurposing and refining your best content while building strategic partnerships and collaborations while focusing on high value relationships and clients. Now, at this point, you can expect consistently high engagement on your posts, anywhere from 300 to 1,000 reactions and 30 to 100 plus comments. Much more strong and consistent follower growth, so 300 to 500 new followers every month, and high quality inbound leads, at least 10 to 20 every single month, while being recognized as a top voice in your niche and having opportunities that go beyond LinkedIn, like speaking, partnerships, and media opportunities. And this is now happening because you've been showing up consistently from 13 to 18 or more months. You published over 200 posts and built a network of thousands, and now you've demonstrated your expertise repeatedly. Now the algorithm's really going to start to amplify your content, and your network will also promote you while being recognized as the go-to expert in your niche. So at this stage, you really want to maintain that consistency. So don't stop now. The authority that you built requires maintenance. So keep posting, keep engaging, keep showing up. The second part of the focus is really to leverage that authority now. So use your LinkedIn authority to create other opportunities, maybe speaking gigs, partnerships, media appearances, book deals, who knows, right? You also want to build systems. So at this stage, consider building systems or hiring support to maintain that LinkedIn presence while you focus on serving clients. Now, by this milestone, you should have 250 to 300 posts actually published, 5,000 to 15,000 connections and followers, 150 to 250 inbound leads over the last 18 months, and dozens of clients that have come directly from LinkedIn with deep, sustainable authority in your niche. So stage 4 is really about leverage. Because you built real authority, your LinkedIn presence is now a revenue generating asset, and your calendar is going to fill up from inbound leads because you're recognized as a top voice within your niche. And this is the payoff for that consistency over an extended period of time. So when putting all of this together, stage 1 is really the foundation stage, where you're going to have lower engagement, slower growth, minimal leads, but you're really focusing on consistency over results. The second stage is between months 4 and 6, which is really the traction stage. Moderate engagement, steady growth, getting some leads in, and the focus is really doubling down on what works. Between months 7 and 12, this is really the momentum stage. So this is where you're going to see much stronger engagement, an accelerated growth phase, more consistent leads, and your focus is really to scale what's working. And then the fourth stage is between months 13 and 18, the authority stage. So this is where you got phenomenal engagement, strong growth, high quality leads consistently, and you can maintain and have much more leverage. Now, this is a realistic timeline, but it's not necessarily the timeline that you have to have. You could massively turbocharge this timeline if you did want to get to a point where you accelerated. So I'll talk to you about some of the things you can do and then another path as well. Now, the first real accelerator is to post more frequently, right? So the baseline is 3 posts per week, but if you can sustainably do 4 to 5 times per week with high quality, and that's the key, then of course you'll build authority faster, because it's more high quality posts with more repetition will get you recognized faster. The second accelerator is to engage more strategically. So the baseline is 15 minutes per day, but if you can do 30 minutes a day engaging with your ideal clients and other authorities in your space, then you'll build relationships much faster and get on other people's radar. The third accelerator is to leverage existing authority. So if you already have an audience elsewhere, like an email list or a YouTube channel, an Instagram page, a podcast, bring them over to LinkedIn, because if you already have clients, ask them then to also engage with your content. So basically use your leverage, leverage existing authority to accelerate your LinkedIn authority. Now, here's the key. These accelerators work, but of course they require more time and energy. So you don't need to try and do all of them at once. Maybe pick one, commit to it, and then make sure that it's sustainable for you. Now, once you go about doing this, you're going to build real authority. You'll attract much more premium clients on autopilot, and you'll turn your LinkedIn into a revenue generating asset, right? Now, within this type of timeline, there is a way to massively turbocharge it if you wanted to get to a point where you had 55,000 highly engaged followers like myself with over 10 million impressions, or the over 100 million impressions we've driven for our clients, including one that we got to over 4,000 highly tailored new followers in just 30 days. So if you do want a system of that nature, all I want you to do is drop a comment below with the word timeline, and I'm going to send you a breakdown of what it looks like to have a full LinkedIn media engine, a done for you system that you don't have to lift a finger for, right behind your brand to get you to these results in 90 days or less. So all I need you to do is comment the word timeline below. I'll get that completely free breakdown sent over to you, and it can get you to all of the results that we've spoken about in this video in 90 days or less. So again, comment the word timeline below. If you found the video helpful, please also do like, comment, share, and subscribe. And I look forward to seeing you on the next one.